Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Bryan Nelson. I'm the Southeast Solutions Engineer with Intelisys, and I'm joined today by William Rubio from CallTower. William, thanks so much for joining me.
Yeah, Bryan, thank you very much. Pleasure to be here and excited to talk to you today.
Yeah, so could you give us a little bit who you are, what do you do with CallTower?
Yeah, sure. So I'm William Rubio, Chief Revenue Officer at CallTower. Been with the organization almost about 12 years overall, and we are basically a global unified communications provider, really focusing on Microsoft, Cisco, and Zoom, spanning about 4 different continents overall. So very excited to be here and to provide solutions to over our partners here in Intelisys.
Yeah, awesome. So have you been to this event before?
I have. You know, I can't say that this is definitely not my first rodeo. I was trying to count the other day of how many I've been to, but I think this is either my 12th or my 13th.
Wow.
So it's definitely been a lot. Yeah.
Wow. Where else? Can you remember another location you were in outside
I think
Nashville?
I was trying to think the first one. I think the first one was actually in San Francisco, in like downtown San Francisco, and they would alternate between Napa and San Francisco, and it's definitely been a lot of fun. It's grown so much. I remember being in some really tight reception rooms and banquet halls, and we've definitely expanded a lot. So the community has definitely expanded.
So why do you keep on coming back? What's your favorite part of this event?
Well, I come because of you, Bryan. I don't know if
yeah, right.
No, I actually come. It's it's a family, right? When you look at whether it's other suppliers that we do work with, or even competitors. I mean, we're all friendlies, right?
Yep.
With a lot of people we work with, and then just really the community and the family that we have. Whether it's our partners that work with us, the folks over at Intelisys that we partner with, it's just been really great, and it's a big reunion. You always come away with learning something new, which I think is always fun, and then you always foster new partnerships as well, which is really good.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Some of the partners I've built relationships and supplier relationships. Man, it's a great community to be a part of. So, what breakouts did you attend? What'd you learn?
So I got to be biased. I obviously attended one of the AA ones, and I did attend one of the Cisco ones, and also one of the Microsoft. And really interesting. Excuse me, what's going on right now in our industry overall, and both of those sessions, and even the AI one. The good thing is you always walk away with something new, right? There's always something that you pick up, and I think as partners, as suppliers, it's always good to know what's going out there and what the market trends are and what our customers are demanding, because we're really here for our customers, right? We're here to give our partners the opportunity that they need to really go and service their customers.
Yeah, so would love to hear more about that. So what are you guys at CallTower seeing as market trends in the cloud communication space?
Well, I think first and foremost, there's no secret that everyone's moving more to the cloud, right?
Yeah.
So cloud migration is definitely a big thing. What we're really seeing that's interesting, though, is that it's really becoming more of a collaboration type of discussion than just voice, right? I mean, we were really keen on doing voice going back to the beginning of our inception, back to 2002. But when you really look at the collaboration piece overall, you're starting to see more people focusing on the likes of Cisco WebEx or Microsoft Teams or Zoom Phone, just because they do so much more than just voice. Voice is just one application, and you're starting to see customers say, I don't need disparate systems that don't integrate well or challenge, and if I could get one communications platform that could do everything for me, both from video to conferencing to audio, do some disaster recovery and so forth, it's really kind of the way it goes. So you're seeing a lot of those trends, and the demand to provide more features within those sets continues to enhance, and that's what folks like us really do on those core platforms.
Yeah, and I can echo that. Out of the Intelisys community, I've worked so many opportunities where it was collaboration tool first, and then we want to bring voice into it. And so that really, really resonates with me and what we're seeing in the market.
It's definitely changed, and voice is just another way that we communicate, right? Overall.
Right. So big changes from Microsoft this year from the licensing front. A lot of partners are still unfamiliar with those changes. Could you give us a high level of what's going on with the bundling and unbundling of teams?
Yeah, I think when you look at the European Union, they kind of led the way, right, with the antitrust laws and the lawsuits and everything, and they really started to decoupling teams or unbundling teams within the system, and now you get by teams separately, so you don't have to be dependent on it being part of Office 365, and I still think that some folks are trying to understand how all that's going to look. And I think the main part of that, what it really did is it really started to help some of the other core platforms really kind of compete a little bit more apples to apples. The one kind of bad news about that, though, is that the cost did go up a little bit if you really kind of start to look at what an end user is going to pay. So Microsoft doesn't lose, right? At the end of the day, it's going to happen. And then just recently, Bryan, I don't know if you saw, but last week, Microsoft did also say too that they're going to be raising their prices.
Oh no, I missed that.
In April, yeah, it's coming in April of 25. Their Teams phone is going to go from $8 to $10.
Oh wow, yeah.
Even with some of their calling packages is going to go up overall. But there's expenses there, and it's just really about educating our partners, and that's I think one thing that really do well, and then educating our end user customers to make sure that they know what's out there, what do they really need, and make sure that if they are buying some of those licenses, to make sure that they're adopting the right ones. Right? It's all about the right adoption and the utilization of it.
Yeah. What do you think is behind that in Microsoft's thinking? They got so much demand that they feel confident they can raise prices?
I think it's a combination. I think it's the demand is one, but I really think that they've, if you look at their roadmap and what they've done a substantial job of really increasing the feature set overall, with their platforms. And there's a lot of investment there. And if you notice, even on the Operator Connect side, it spans now pretty much on the global level. They started with about 5 different providers. We were one of the first ones. Now there's over 100 that are in there. So you got to support all those partners that are in there. And then when you start to look at all the processing data behind it overall, with being in multiple different continents, being even in the same city but in different data centers to make sure they're provided, it's a lot overall. So I think there's a couple different reasons for it. But demand is definitely one of them.
Yeah. So I'd like to give you the last 30 seconds as just your podium. What do you want to tell the folks at home?
I think first and foremost, when you are looking at making a change or migrating into the cloud from a collaboration standpoint, do your homework, right? And what I mean by do your homework is not just understand the platforms, but understand what your end users are looking for. And I think a lot of people miss that, right? They just kind of assume that everyone's using the same set of feature sets. And look, marketing uses different tools than sales does. Sales uses different tools than engineering does. Engineering different than customer support, right? Et cetera, et cetera. So I think that really understanding the needs of your employees, listening to them, and then making sure that you're picking the right platform or multiple platforms in some cases, I think is really key. Do your homework. And then on the same side, when you're looking at the platform providers, somebody like CallTower, make sure you get under the hood. Right? We love when customers do their due diligence on us because we're going to win in that sense, because they know that they're going to get the best support that they want out there.
Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate you. And for everybody at home, I've been successful with CallTower. I know you can too. I'm a big believer in them, their team, and their product. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Bryan.
Up next, I'll be chatting with Elaine Goodman and Krista Verheyen from Cisco. Very excited for that conversation. Please stick around.